Hey guys, it's Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Today I am going to show you how I encapsulate nail art with dip powder. This technique is really fun and super easy. What would you guys encapsulate? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get started. Okay everybody, so let's get started with our dip powder tutorial. The first thing I'm gonna do is have my client sanitize her hands, and then I'm gonna go ahead with a cuticle pusher and push back her cuticles. Now I'm gonna go in with my e-file and I'm going to take off the shine of her natural nail. And this is going to be prepping her nail for our dip powder application. Now to add length to her nail, I'm going to be adding a nail tip. So for this nail, I'm going to be doing a tapered square. And when I put the tip on, I like to file in the free edge just because when you cut the nail, it tends to flare out towards the end and you get that kind of flared Dorito looking nail when you're putting your dip powders on, and you want to eliminate filing time. Okay, so now the next step I'm going to do is use my e-file and I'm going to lightly file off the shine of the nail tip. In doing this, we're going to blend the tip into the natural nail so there's no line of demarcation. And by roughing up the shiny part of the nail tip, it's going to create a layer that our dip powder is going to be able to adhere to. Okay, so we're all prepped and we're ready for our first step. The first bottle you're going to use is our Bond, it's number 1, and this is going to go on the natural nail plate. By putting this on the natural nail, you are preparing it for the dip application. So my next step, I'm going to be using base, and this is number 2, and we are going to be applying this where the nail tip meets the natural nail plate. So the first powder we're going to be dipping into is our natural, and this is just to build up the strength of the nail. So the next layer of base that I'm going to be doing is going to be 3/4 of the nail. We are going to start here and apply to the entire nail. This protects the natural nail from any discoloration from the pigments of the dip powder, and it's also building the apex, so it creates strength. Okay, so the color we're going to be using for this nail is called Tahitian Princess. And this color is very popular and it's a very beautiful color. So for this layer, I'm going to go in with my base again, and I'm going to stay a hairline away from the cuticle, and we are going to cover the entire nail. And go ahead and dip. And then brush off any excess. So with all of our colored dip powders, you want to do 2 applications for best coverage. Paying close attention to your base application and keeping it clean will save you time on filing and debulking the nail later on in the process. So I'm going to be doing an encapsulation, so I want to have my clear powder ready. So the purpose of the clear powder is to encapsulate the goodies that I'm going to be adding to this nail. So when doing an encapsulation, you want to put down a base layer, and this is what your little fun things are going to stick to. So you're going to want to push down your little foils and your stickers down into that base and make sure it has good adhesion, and then trim off any excess. So to encapsulate this, I'm going to add another layer of base, and with this layer I'm going to want to make sure that I'm getting every crevice around the foils or stickers just so I can have a good encapsulation. I'm going to add another layer of base. And we are going to do 2 layers to encapsulate this look. So now that we've done all of our layers of dip powder, we're not done with this nail. Now you're going to grab your Seal and Protect, and this is number 3, and we are going to add this to the entire nail. So when you use your Seal and Protect, you want to make sure that you're getting an adequate amount of product on the nail. This is going to seep into all the layers of the dip powder, and it's going to cure it and make it hard. If you don't put your Seal and Protect on your dip powder, it's never going to harden. Another way to see if it's ready to file is you can tap on the top, and if you hear it tapping, it's ready to go. Now that this nail is dry, I'm going to go in with my hand file and I'm going to shape up the sidewalls and the free edge. So now I'm going to go in with my e-file and I'm just going to clean up the cuticle. After we're done filing and shaping this nail, you're going to want to buff the nail. So after buffing the nail, you're going to want to grab your Seal and Protect and apply another layer of this. If you don't put this on your nail before your top coat isn't going to dry correctly. and then you're going to wipe off any excess with a dry, lint-free wipe. So when you apply your top coat, you want to use thin, even strokes. You want to apply it 1, 2, 3. Make sure you do not overlap. So if you put on your first coat and you're noticing that the nail's looking a little matte, don't freak out, you're completely fine. Your first coat of top coat is always going to be matte, and that's just it drying. That is why you apply the second top coat, and that's when the shine comes out. So now I'm going to go in and apply my second coat of top coat, and you're going to want to do the same, just even strokes, 1, 2, 3. Now after your top coat is completely dry, you're going to want to grab your number 5, and this is the Nourish Oil, and just apply this to the cuticle and rub it in. And there you have it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video on how to encapsulate with dip powder. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!